Hi everyone, welcome to another session with me, your girl Sky Larkin, where I'm talking to amazing everyday people that are running their own businesses, making a social impact in their community, and also doing things that fill them with joy, light them up, and yeah, following their purpose. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite somebody onto this live who's been running their own business for 10 years this year. And I'm going to, hopefully, we're going to share some gems, things she's learned along her journey in business, and to find out what she does and how she does it. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite up my guest for today online, and we're going to have a chat.
Oh, okay, I've got it the wrong way. The camera's the wrong
Good
way.
morning.
Hey, Sky, how are
I'm
you?
good. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, all the better for seeing you.
Thank you, likewise. Can you see me okay?
I can, yeah, I can see you clearly.
I'm very
Yay!
fortunate. This room at the back of the house has a lot of light, so
Yeah,
I'm using it to my advantage. Because if I had bad
do that.
lighting, I just look totally
Yeah.
different.
And
Um,
how's my lighting, Sky? Is my
the
lighting good, or
lighting is
is it
great.
okay?
Yes, I can see you. I feel like maybe
People.
if you want to bring the camera down a bit, feel free. But I can see
A little bit
clearly.
down. Is that okay? Let me see. Let's see if I can, you want to see all of me? Hey, whoops, let me
Why
just,
not?
is that better? Is that
Yes.
better? Okay, hey girl, hello.
Hi, thank you
Oh,
so much for joining me this Saturday on this live. I really appreciate it, especially as I know it's your weekend off, which is a rarity. Um, yeah, so thank you so much first and foremost. And sorry, this thing is popping up on your face, and it's always distracting for me when I get
what
messages.
is it?
Oh, it
Oh,
just said that I'm starting a live video, and it's just telling people that
okay.
I'm on live. So, welcome, Beverley. Welcome,
Hello.
Bev. Lovely, bubbly Bev. Tell me about a bit about yourself. Could you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do?
So, hi everyone. My name is Bev, and I am the founder. It's funny, there's a message coming up. So funny, isn't it? I'm the founder of Lovely Bubbly Craft Parties. I'm just trying to think, I'm getting all shy now. So, Lovely Bubbly was founded in 2013, officially. And after losing my mum suddenly in 2009, I needed something to take my mind off. I didn't want to think, and I just wanted to be busy. So it's funny, I've gone blank now, Sky. So I think I remember my mum. So my mum died suddenly, and I remember my mum was healthy and everything. And I remember one of the things that she really said to me that really resonated in my heart was, Bev, you've got the creative ability of God in you. And that was because I've always been a creative person, and I was doing my friend who was getting married, I was doing her bridesmaid dresses, right? And my mum would ring me every day and say, Bev, have you started the dresses yet? And I'll say, no, I haven't. And she's like, why haven't you started? So she's like, Bev, you've got the creative ability of God in you. And those are one of the things that really I remembered what her saying, and that had a really massive impact on my life. And so that was 2009, September the 2nd. My whole world had been like turned upside down. Spoke to my mum in the morning, and by the afternoon, my mum wasn't here. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I was sort of like on a journey of, like, obviously, if anyone's ever been through loss or trauma, you need to be busy. And being a person who loves to create, I was looking for something to do. And I remember it was my daughter's birthday, and she got really lovely gifts for her birthday. And I was just thinking, oh wow, just like wow, all these parents have given her such beautiful gifts. And I thought, I want to give something back. So that was my journey. I thought, what can I give to them just to say thank you? So I started making little sweetie things, and my mum was just behind me, and I was just very like empowered, like to do things that I'd never normally do. So I remember going to different like craft fair events and things like that. And then on my journey, I remember seeing this lady who was she was selling soaps, right? And I was just like really blown away, and I started asking her, and she was telling me that a lot of the soaps, a lot of the things that we wash ourselves with are like they've got really horrible bits in, and her ones are all natural. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I remember smelling the soaps, and they're all different colors. And then that was my journey. So I just thought, you know what, I want to learn how to make soap. So I went online and I started looking for courses, and it was a little bit scary. And I remember seeing a course and thinking, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I did my course in, I think it was 2010, with a company called Soap School. And I went up to London, and I was really scared because I'd never ever done a course before. So it was a whole day course. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I clever enough to do this? I was so scared. Anyway, got there, and she was really friendly and everything. And there was quite a few people there. And then she started telling us about, I think it was a 2.5-day course. And she started telling us about soap. And I was just like, wow. And I couldn't believe that you could actually make your own soap. So after 2 days, it was just so amazing. And I made soap, and it worked. I could wash with it, and it was suddy and everything. And that was my journey, and I was just so blown away that you could make products, right? So started making soaps, experimenting, giving them to friends and family. And then I sort of like got hooked on courses, and then I did I think it was like body butters, and then we learned how to make lip balm. And once again, I was just like so amazed that you can make lip balm and it works, and it was made out of all natural oils. And I was just learning about that our skin is the biggest organ in our body, and whatever we put on our skin, it goes into our bloodstreams. And I was just like, I became really conscious of what was on my skin, and just sort of like saying to friends and like family, you got to be careful what goes on your skin. And then I did more courses. I learned how to make bath bombs, and I started giving them away to friends and just experimenting with like all that I'd learned. And then I thought, you know, I'd love to sell these items. So you had to do this, it was called compliance. So you had to sort of like spend a lot of money. So I thought, you know what, I really want to do this. So I'm going to do the course of how to sell your products. So you had to have the safety assessment. You had to learn how to write the ingredients, and there was a lot of things you had to learn. And it was quite a difficult course, but I did it. And then I was sort of like allowed to sell my products online. And that was a journey. And I would go to different craft markets and sell my stuff. And I met so many people. And I remember meeting this really lovely lady. And she was just like, wow, this is really amazing what you're doing. I'd love you to come down to our group and sell your stuff. And it was really great. And then what happened was, Sky, in 2013, the law changed. So I purchased quite a few safety assessments. So every product that you created, like category, like if you're going to do like lip balms and body butters, you had to buy a safety assessment, and you had to make sure that, you know, that you were what's the word? You were doing it right. Yeah. Compliant, that's the word. So one safety assessment back then was like £250. So I bought quite a few because I wanted to make soap, I wanted to do lip balms, I wanted to do like everything. And I just thought, you know what, because as well, I was going to say I was selling items, And sometimes I'd be up all night making all my soap, buying all my ingredients, and then you think you're gonna sell loads of products, and then sometimes I wouldn't sell anything, and it was very, very disheartening. And I was sort of like thinking, what am I doing wrong? And then I realised what I was doing wrong. I wasn't going to the audience who wanted my products.
Right.
I needed to find people who had problematic skin. So it was quite disheartening sometimes, but I kept plodding on. And then, like I said to you, I just thought I'm not gonna buy like loads of safety assessments again, because a lot of mine had become null and void. So I was sort of like thinking, what am I going to do, right? And then something in my head said, you could teach, and it was like, no, never, not you, no way, you're not clever enough. So that was in the back of my head, right? And I dismissed it. And then one day I sort of like thought, you know what? I remember the feeling that I got when I first made soap. And I just felt so like overjoyed, like just endorphins, that the fact that I created something and it looks good and it was usable and it was made out of all natural ingredients. So I spoke to my friend and I said, I've got a really good idea, but I'm really scared to do it. What do you think? I was doing workshops, you know? And she's like, it's a really good idea. And I was like, will you do it with me? Because I'm so scared. And she goes, yeah, sure. So we sort of like got heads together and we wrote down all the lists of things that we needed to do. And it was my daughter's birthday. It was her 8th birthday. So I said to her, would you like to have a soap making party? And she said yes. So we invited about, I think it was about 7, 8 friends. And oh my gosh, I was so scared. And my friend was there. It was in my house and I was I was terrified, right? And didn't really know what I was doing, but so we made soap, I think, and we made I think we made bath bombs. So all the parents, they dropped their children off, and then I was just teaching them how to make soap and and they really loved it. And at the end, they had all their products, and they're really, really happy. And then spoke to my friend. We sort of like thought, how did it go? And then we said, yeah, let's should we do workshops? So we compiled a really long list. We got our public liability insurance, all the things that we needed to do.
So you got
and then we're on
a row, and then
yeah, so then we're on a search for a hall, and then we just thought, you know what, we need to go where the money is. There's no point in doing this where people can't afford to. My nose is itching. 1 second.
So in terms of your market research, you really thought about your audience. You thought about, you know, where you could start your business and went to that audience.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Yeah, so what happened was we decided to, we thought, you know what, let's South Woodford, because my daughter went to school in that area. And so we got leaflets printed. We're really excited about the leaflets, and then it was like, right, we need to give the leaflets out. And it was just like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? This is so scary. And sorry, what I'm going to do, sorry, 1 second.
Putting yourself out there, when I feel like we always, I do this as well, we do so much for others, and like we'll get a job and we'll like do everything for that employer, but when it comes to doing something for ourselves, there's so much like sometimes fear behind us actually stepping out and, you know, going for something. And how did you overcome that? What did you do?
Okay, so we got the leaflets printed, all right, and then we drove out. At first we sort of like rang around schools and said, hi, is it all right if we stand outside and give leaflets out? And some schools were like, no. So we were just like, oh, we're not allowed. But that's not true. That's not true. It's a free country. So we got the leaflets printed out, and then we just sat in the car scared. And I was saying to my friend, I want to go home, because I felt like an imposter, right? So we just both sat there, and how did we overcome the fear? By doing. So it was just like, come on, Bev, we need to do this. So we got out the car, scared, terrified, right? And then we started giving out leaflets, and oh my gosh, it was just like so surprising. All the parents were just like, thank you so much, wow, this is great. And it was just like, what was you scared about anyway? So yeah, so in the doing, so I think when you're sitting there scared, you're just going to get more scared and more scared. But it was the doing, getting up and taking the first step. Getting out of the car was the first step. Picking up the leaflets and then going to the first person and just saying, hi, we're doing a workshop. And it just felt that, I think it was like, I felt like a fraudster, because nobody knew who nobody knew who we were. And it was just so scary. But then we just started giving out leaflets, and everyone just took it. And I think because the leaflets were really bright, it was for children, we're outside of school, right? And it was just like, wow, okay. So we did it, and we
different, because let's face it, I've got 6 kids, and all the parties I've had for my kids, if I think about it, they're either like in like fast food chains, or they're like football parties, or there was nothing really in terms of workshops or parties that do what you did at that time. So I can see why it would be, you know, people would be really intrigued looking at what you had to offer. So at that time, what were you offering, and how's that changed to date? What are you...
Oh, so it was our first soap making workshop. So that's what we were offering, a soap making workshop. So yeah. And then how's it changed today? So we do a lot more. So we do a lot of, so we do soap making, bath bomb making, we do fashion, we do jewellery. What else do we do? Yeah, so that's mainly it. And then we do, we've had adults, we've done some adult parties as well. And we get adults who are saying, you know what, can we do this as well? So a few years ago, we had this really lovely lady who contacted me, and she's like, Bev, I've just seen your website and it's really amazing. Can you help us? Because I've seen that you do, you know, you do adult workshops. And she was like, there's about 8 of us. And she goes, Bev, but we don't want to make knickers, right? So she's like, so I said, I've got a really great party you could do. I said, you could do the fashion one. So I was telling her about the fashion one, and she was like, wow, because it was a surprise birthday for her friend. And one of them, so these ladies, they were like 70 to 80, right? And they were, they were school mums, so they met at the school gate. And they've got a sewing group, so they were very, very creative. And she was just like, would you come down to Epsom? So I was just like, absolutely. So she was just like, Bev, we're a sewing group, can you create some sewing like rhinestone templates? So I was just like, you know what, I thought, yeah, why not? So I just said yes. And it took me, honestly, Sky, because I was so passionate, it took me about like a few weeks to create these things. And I didn't say I'd charge her, because I was just like, oh wow, I just want to do this. So it took, and I was just like, oh my gosh, these aren't perfect, let me try again. So it took me hours. So anyway, I was really scared. I'm thinking, is she gonna like it? Are they gonna like them? And then I sent them to them. They were like, oh my gosh, Bev, these are great. So we did their party, and it was absolutely amazing. And of course, it was my first adult party, and it was a little bit nervous, because I'm used to dealing with children, but they were just great. And it was funny, because normally with children you're sort of like, right, girls, or girls and boys, this is what we're going to do. So it was just like, how do I speak to the adults? So we just spoke to them how we just did it how we do with the children. And oh my gosh, Guy, they had the time of their lives. So they did their rhinestones, they're all around the table. And then we did the fashion show, and oh my gosh, Sky, they were absolutely amazing. They you should have seen a fashion show. I've got it on video actually somewhere, and they were
You
just so
roll out the red
energetic.
carpet
We
after they've made their pieces.
we did. And I'll let you into a secret as well. What happened was I forgot the backdrop stand, right? I forgot the backdrop stand. So I was just like, oh my gosh, Jodie, we got there. And I was like, I forgot the stand. I had the backdrop. And Jodie's just so like, my team is amazing. And she was just like, don't worry, it's fine. They don't know, we will find a way. And I think in business, you might forget something might happen, and you've just got to find a way.
You just improvise, don't you?
Absolutely. And so what we did, it was just like they had a big rail, like curtain rail. So we just put the clips on there, and they didn't know any difference,
That's
right?
amazing.
So we just, and it looks even better on the backdrop. So it was the most amazing party. Then they got their glasses of wine out, and they were just such a great group. And to bring happiness, so that's what we're about. It's about bringing happiness, joy, and creativity, because I think especially in life, we can be like, even children, it's all about grades, you know, getting things right. And a lot of the time, children, they don't get a chance to like just relax, learn something new, create something beautiful. And that's what our
learn through
party's
play
about.
as well, wouldn't you say? Like,
Yeah.
we learn a lot when we're playing and doing, and I love the fact that you bring that all to the table with all, you know, you've organically transitioned from running workshops to getting into parties, and then making teddy bear workshop parties, going, you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
Your
Yes.
essential oils, and using, you know, really pure essential oils to put into your products, using really high quality products, making your parties a learning, creative, fun, and, you know, wholesome experience. And I wanted to ask, actually, where did the name Luvly Bubbly come from? Because it's so fitting to your whole brand.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what happened was, right, so when we did our first workshop, prior to that, we sent our children to, it was a cookery workshop, because we didn't know what we were doing. So it was like, okay, so we're like, go in there and tell us how it was. So they went in there, and we were outside, and they weren't very friendly. So it was just like, they were just not friendly, and I just didn't like being outside. I wanted to know I wanted to sort of like, I'm thinking, I've paid some money, my child's going into this room, I want to be in there, I want to feel it, but it was just like, we're just outside. So when we decided our workshops, we're going to be really friendly, we're going to invite the parents in so they can have a look around, they can ask questions, because we've got nothing to hide, and see what they'll be doing. And I've always been a people's person. I love people. I love nice, I'm going to emphasize nice people. I thrive around like really nice people, you know. So we just got all beautiful people at our workshop. Our first client was a lady called Carla, and yeah, we would just treat people, come in parents, how are you? Because don't forget, when children are going into a workshop, parents are nervous as well, you know. Parents are nervous, and you're sort of like thinking, am I allowed to go in, you know? And I was just like, of course you are paying, you need to see what your children are going to be doing. Come in, ask questions, smell the essential oils, you know, have a look and check us out. And the parents, they just really liked us, because we just treated people, I treat people how I want to be treated. And they would just say, oh my gosh, you ladies are so lovely. And we were called the Lovely Ladies. So it was just a case of the Lovely Ladies. And then I remember sort of like brainstorming, and I've got a friend called Bev, and she sort of like said, Bev, what about Luvly Bubbly? So I was thinking, oh my gosh, that is such a lovely name. And people call us that anyway, so that's where the name came from.
Oh,
Lovely Bubbly.
fantastic.
So we couldn't get, yeah, so we couldn't get lovely the way you spell it, like L-O-V. So we just changed it to L-U-V, Lovely Bubbly. And that is, the rest is history. So of date now, we've done so many parties. I've met anyone out there who's thinking of doing a business, whether it's parties. I would just say that there is competition, but how you do things is different from everyone else. So if
Yeah,
I've got
no one's going to
friends
do
who,
what you do the way you do it. And I
exactly,
remember
that's what I'm
someone
saying.
saying that to me, like, you're you, and
Yeah,
no one else can be you.
and yeah, and it's unique. So I would just say definitely like the market, there's so many parties out there. There's a lot of people who do soap making, who do bath bomb making. But I would say that your uniqueness, and you can't, if you've got an idea, I'd say go for it, even if someone else is doing it, because the way you do it is going to be really, really different. And I've had the most amazing journey, honestly, Sky. I am so blessed to have like a business, Lovely Bubbly. One of the things that I absolutely love is my clients. They are just the best. And on Saturday, last Saturday, I just met this absolutely amazing lady, and we sort of like were speaking since February, and my clients are just so beautiful, hand on heart. And so of date, we've got 129 five-star reviews on Google. So
Brilliant.
we're trying to get 130, trying to get 130. And there's loads of parents who we have done parties for, and they're busy. So I thought, let me send some messages, just sort of like saying, hey guys, don't forget to leave your review. So we want to serve you, and it's about serving parents. It's about bringing joy. So what happens is we do a lot of in-house parties, and I think to myself, it is quite scary, someone coming to your house, a stranger coming into your house, you don't know them. So we just try and be like the best we can and just treat people, bring joy. You can't go in there like moody. You gotta be
Yeah,
happy,
yeah,
energetic, and that's what we bring. And just like, if we're doing a workshop, it's like energetic. Imagine doing a workshop like, hi kids, sorry, I can't even do it. You've got to be energetic, you've got to be high frequency, because I just think there's so much negativity in the world, and there's so much sadness, and I just want to bring joy. Just want to bring joy to the children, and show them that they can do anything, because that's what we're about, showing children, like the workshops, the parties that we do, we try and make it look amazing, whatever they make. So they come away with something that they've made themselves. They've been the manager of what they've created. So they've chosen the essential oils, they've chosen their color, or if it's a rhinestone t-shirt that they're making, they've created it, and it's genuinely just really lovely to watch the end result. So one of my favorite parties is the fashion party, and what I like about it is their design. They choose the color t-shirt, but then when they're applying their rhinestones, they don't see it. So once they've completed it, we heat press it on, and what always happens is a child has created something really beautiful, and their hand goes over their mouth, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done
yeah.
this. And they've got this t-shirt that's theirs that they can wear over and over, and somebody can say, wow, where'd you get that t-shirt from? And they can say, I made it. And it's just like and it's so empowering, because it comes out so great, whether it's jewelry, whatever it is. And that's what we want. We don't want them to make like standard box things. It's got to be amazing.
Absolutely.
And
I
mm,
mean, in this day and age, I find that what this. I've done some stuff with my kids where we've made tie-dye t-shirts, we've made bath bombs, and we've made lip balms, because you can buy kits from stores and stuff. But not everyone gets that opportunity. Not everyone has the chance to get creative. So I love the fact that you do these in your parties, and you're right, when children make something that's theirs, they wear it with pride and they show it off with pride. Or, you know, my daughter brought home some sunflowers yesterday, and she's like excited that they're, you know, they're starting to bud and stuff, and they can see the fruits of what they've made. So yeah, no, that's fantastic that
Yeah.
you give that to children in the form of your parties. And I had a lot of questions, but you've kind of answered a lot of my questions along the way. I was going to ask you, actually, would there have been a course or a book or some advice you would have liked to have had by your side as you run your business over the last 10 years? And
That's
so
a really good
what
question.
what would that be if was there anything
So,
that you, was there anything, like, looking back over the last 10 years being in business for yourself, what advice would you give to somebody that was looking to start a service-based business, or to your younger self, or what would you suggest to someone starting out?
so what I would suggest is find someone who's doing what you want to do, and I would say contact them. Don't be scared. Even if they say no, that's fine. But just keep contacting people and just keep asking, and then just ask them how they did it. And I think if they're like, they will share with you like how they did it. And because I remember seeing this lady online, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I want to do that. And I thought, I'm going to ring her. But then I sort of 141 the number. And then I hung up because I got so scared. And then in the end, I think I listened to Tony Robbins, and he just said, just you know, if you've got something you want to do, just do it. If somebody says no, that's fine. Sorry, darling. I'm just going to see, because I'm going to put my, I'm just gonna, because it's cracking up a little bit. Sorry about that. It wasn't clear, and I've just put my my 4G on. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I rang her and just said, hi, I'd love to know, you know, I'd love to do what you're doing. And she just gave me loads of information. Just,
I think,
you
that's
know,
great
loads.
advice. So with me, Bev, as you know, I'm a childminder, and I remember over procrastinating, just doing that for such a long time. And then I actually reached out to a number of childminders, not in my area, but just sort of that I knew of, and just kind of asked them questions, because I was getting inquiries and I didn't 100% know how to, like, respond to everything. And, you know, like, just, it was just really useful, a lot of the stuff that I got from those conversations, even to the point where the apps that I use to run my business in the background to do my admin and stuff. So yeah, I think that is really good advice that we don't share enough of, is to do, you know, talk to people. Because I think, you know, one, word of mouth for our business is phenomenal, and two, just literally talking to people who have been through something like the type of business you want to go into is really valuable, because they're in the business and they can share what they've learned, and you can either take it or you can leave it. But it's, you know, and as you say, quite like rightly, people can say no, and that's completely fine as well, and then you just go and speak to someone else. But that's really important, and I think part of our learning through business is getting out there and finding that information from different sources. So thank you for sharing that. That's really, yeah, that's really a good tip for many people. And I was going to say earlier, actually, because, like, somebody like shared this analogy with me ages ago, and I can't remember who it was or where it came from, but somebody said to me, like, you don't see hairdressers not open hairdressers because there's a hairdresser down the road. So why would it stop you from running business X because you see somebody down the road running business X? Like there's enough for everyone. And I think sometimes that procrastination can make people think really small. So thank you for sharing that. You've shared so much already about why you love parties, what's been the most fun party for you and stuff like that. Has there ever been like a worst business moment, and what was that like?
Yeah. So So I remember in the beginning of the day when I first started, I did a party for I did a party for this lady, and it was a recommendation, and I really wasn't happy at all. I was so disappointed. Um, I was just so, yeah, I was so disappointed with the party. But then I learned quickly. So I think you just got to learn by your mistakes. And I think failure, because I thought I failed,
Oh,
and but then I think it just makes you think, because if everything's always going well, you're just going to keep going doing the same thing. But I remember just sort of like um really criticizing myself and just thinking, like, you make mistakes, but it was just like that will never ever happen again. And I'll tell you what it was, Sky. I felt so embarrassed. So we do certificates, right, for the children for parties, yeah.
amazing.
And yeah, so I spelt the name wrong, didn't I? I spelt the name wrong. And these were private school children, right? And they were just like, this is like 9 years ago. So, right, they were just like, that's not her name. And they all left, and I felt so bad. So it's never, ever, ever happened again. And I think you will make mistakes in business. Like, another example, this is what happened. We were doing a party, a lip balm party, and I packed everything, and I've got a checklist, right? And the children made the lip balms, and everything was going really well. And then it was just like, where are the lids? It's like, I can't find the lids. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, right? So I'm just
Yeah.
smiling and like packing away, thinking the lids were here. And it was just like, there were these bigger lids, right? Bigger lids, right? And it's just like, what do I do? Like, this lady, what do I do?
What
Do
did you
I
do?
just put them in? So my dilemma, what should I do, everyone? My dilemma was, do I come clean and tell the lady, or do I just put them in the back and hope for the best? And I thought, I'm gonna have to tell her, right? I'm gonna have to tell her. So then I sort of like looked down, and the lids had dropped down. So I was
Oh,
going to tell the lady, listen, I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you, the lids had dropped behind. There was this like cupboard, and I was just like, oh my gosh, God, I'm so thankful. Thank you. So, so now I've just got this checklist, because you do forget things. Like, once I forgot the t-shirts. Luckily, it was near my house. So we're doing a fashion party, and we forgot the t-shirts, Sky, right? So luckily it was 10 minutes. I was able to ring my husband and say, I've got an amazing husband, by the way, say, I've forgotten the t-shirts, could you bring them to me? So now my motto is, I can't forget anything. And I always say that. And I've
so I
just got
have
a
a
checklist, and I
checklist.
just
Yeah.
check, 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 and double check. And yeah, so I've just learnt lessons. You know, I've forgotten the camera before, but I've been able to take it on. But then with me, I beat myself up as well. So if I forget the camera, I beat myself up, as in my head, how could you do that? That's so silly. But now I just have, like I said, a long checklist, and I go through it and make sure that I've got everything. Yeah, because you can't not show up. You've got to make it happen, because my thing is, it's like, my worst nightmare would be to let a child down and to spoil someone's birthday. You know, that is, yeah, I could never do that. So I have to make sure that everything is there,
So you don't
and
beat
that
yourself up for too long, though, do you? You have a good team behind you. You have
sometimes
your husbands who will,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
run
and
up and
it
get
seems
stuff for
like,
you.
yeah, and I think it's just experiences, because I remember doing this huge party. It was about 40 children. It was a fashion party, Sky, right? And so what happens is, how it works with Lovely Bubbly, you fill out your details, yeah, and if you want to book the form, you pay a £50 deposit, and then we fill out a booking form, and it's got all the bits that you need. So it's like, you need to provide tables, so it's just like everything, so we're both on the same page, yeah. So I remember doing this party, and really lovely client, we got there, because I'm just sort of like thinking it's a big party. I'm going to get there like 2 hours before, right? There was about 5 members of staff. And then we got there and there wasn't enough tables. And my heart just sank, right? But my team were amazing. They're just like, Bev, listen, we've just got to work with what we've got. You know, if they've got to go on the floor, they've got to go on the floor. Because with me, I want everything perfect. So it was just like, Bev, don't worry. I was just so stressed, right? It was just like, don't worry. We're gonna make a way to make this happen. So some of the children were on the floor. It wasn't perfect, but we did it. And that was just, yeah, we did it. And it was a great success. But I'm sort of like, I've got quite a perfectionist when it comes to things. I want the children to be comfortable. I want it to be this way. And yeah, so thank God to have like really great people behind you who are just there to help you
That's really
and
important,
make you look
having
good.
a good team. Absolutely. And I was going to say, actually, with children, some children like to do things standing up, sitting down. Some children like to do things on the floor. So I love how there's been lots of quick thinking on your feet throughout your
You have
journey, in terms of
to.
improvising at different stages for different different think blips along the way, or learnings. That's really, really great. And you said that you did a party in Epsom. I know you're London based, so you do all of London. What other areas do you cover? Kent and Essex?
Yeah, so we sort of like go like 20 miles out, which is very
Of the
tiring. And I
M25,
think,
is that?
yeah, within reason, but sorry, the traffic is getting a bit crazy now. So we do charge, like we charge like to travel, because sometimes like if it's over 2 hours return journey, then there's an extra surcharge that we add, because we have to, because time is so important. Yeah. And I think it is. I think when you do run a business, you have to find a way. Like sometimes you do have obstacles. Sometimes things don't go your way, and it just teaches you. You just got to think on your feet. So yeah, it's just like we've got to make this happen. We've got to find a way to make it happen. We can't let the children down. So sometimes we have challenges whereby the space is really tiny, and it's just like, we'll find a way. So if we've got to move, if it's a fashion show, if we've got to move the table outside, we'll move it outside and make it happen. And
Great,
that's
that's
what we're about.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I know that you've been running for 10 years and you've gone from strength to strength, and you've been really busy. How did lockdown affect your business, and what was that like?
Oh, okay. Lockdown. Lockdown was great. There was no business, but it was really busy. Oh my gosh, before lockdown, right, it was just crazy, 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 crazy busy. And then I sort of like, is the right word, crashed. It was just like great. So lockdown for me was great because I was with my family and I was able to rest. And what I should have done, I should have done other things, but I just got used to like just chilling and yeah, just chilling. So for me, lockdown was
Like a breath of
fantastic. I should have.
fresh air to kind of have a reset.
It was just nice to be with my family, because normally every weekend I'm out, like, you know, leaving early in the morning. Because like, just say for instance, if we're going to Epsom, if the party starts at 10, like you've got to get there, you've got to leave about, depending on where it is, you've got to leave really, really early. And it's a lot of time, because you've got to do the pre-party setup as well. So it's so much time, and then you've got the prep side. So it's got great rewards, but it's a lot of time, so if we're doing soap making, it's all about the prep. It's not about on the day of the party. It's about the behind the scene work, and behind the scene work. And that's what success is about. It's about what you don't see. The turning up on the day of the party is the easy part. The hard part is what you don't see, and it takes hours and hours, because sometimes you get, like, we have done lastminute.com parties, like just say on a Thursday, you know, but it is a lot of work and it is a lot to do. because it looks very glamorous, but
a lot goes
my,
on
yeah,
behind
yeah,
the scenes.
and
Absolutely. Thank you for
especially
sharing
with
that.
ours, yeah, especially with ours, because I'm just sort of like, when it comes to like, we do stencils, all those stencils have got to be cleaned because I'm fussy. All the, if we're doing if you're using the fabric part markers, I remember as a child I used to hate when a pen didn't work, a pencil. So it's just checking that everything works, making sure that all the aprons are clean, they've got to be
And then,
ironed.
I mean, things are in
Making sure,
date, and I guess for you as well, you're doing a lot of stuff around hygiene as well, like making body butters and bath
yeah.
bombs and soaps.
So I've just got this, I'm fussy when it comes to, I'm so fussy. So we not only
That's a
wash the
good thing.
bowls, they're sprayed with like isopropylene, just sort of like, you know, during COVID, everyone was like, we do this and we do that and we do that anyway. And it's just,
From
because
day.
it's just like,
Yeah.
I just want the children to have an experience whereby everything's clean, everything's nice, like all the safety goggles, they're washed and then they're sprayed and then cleaned. So I'm just, my thing is, somebody's choosing me. I'm grateful. There's hundreds of party providers out there, and the fact that they've chosen me, I'm going to do my utmost best to, even you don't see the behind the scenes that we do, but we do it anyway. And it's just like always thinking, my attitude's always been, how can we be better? Like, I've never arrived. It's always, what can we do to make it even better? And we're always doing that, trying to improve. So we used to have plastic aprons, and now it's just like, you know what, no, let's go for, we want everyone to look great. We didn't used to have safety goggles, and I remember my sister's a teacher, so she would always say, Bev, you know, are your gloves latex free? Because a lot of children have got allergies, they're allergic to it, so it's like latex free gloves. She would say their eyes, just in case, you know, we need to protect their eyes, because they're working with ingredients. And once what happened was, we were doing a party, this was many years ago, and a child, I don't know how, she got something in her eye, and it was really like, oh, my eye. So it was really like, oh my gosh. So it's like this, so things happen, and it's just like, this can never happen again. What can we do to improve it? Safety goggles. And it's funny as well, Sky, because even our safety goggles have sort of like transitioned, because before they used to be really horrible. Looking back at the pictures, they were like really horrible glasses, and they would steam up. And I remember searching and searching for glasses, safety goggles, and then we found some really nice ones now. So we've transitioned so much with, when it comes to ingredients, because we used to use flavor oils, and then I learned about all essential oils are not equal. So I tried these essential oils, they're called doTERRA, and oh my gosh, I was just like, wow. And then the story behind essential oils, so it's just like, you know what, if I am using these essential oils, my clients need to use them as well, because what's good enough for me, it's good enough for my
Absolutely.
clients.
I mean,
So
carrot oils are a game changer. When I was going through my breast cancer journey with
yeah,
treatment and surgery and everything, I would take frankincense,
yeah,
and you know, the essential oils, you can ingest them, you can eat them, you can drink them. They're so good. Like I
yeah,
recommend them myself as well. And
yeah.
yeah, they're really good.
So we threw away all the other oils, because it was just like a dilemma, you know. It was just, and then it was just like, you know what, we threw them away. The Torah, it was more expensive, but it was just like, you know what, this is my clientele. I generally want the best for my customers, and we don't cut corners. We try and you know, get the best of everything, like the best speeds.
And this is
I
part of your
like nice
brand and
things.
your
Yeah.
integrity, and I love that you've consistently looked at how to make the business better. You've consistently listened to your customers and your clients, and you've got repeat clients that are coming back to you as well. I know
Mhm.
from having a chat with you. So, you know, I think that is what business is about, isn't it? It's about being better than you were yesterday, and improving and learning and growing. And yeah, with that being said, what's next for you? Like, what you hoping to transition into next? Because I know you do a lot of parties and workshops, and as I said, like I've seen that you're running more workshops now. What's next for your business? And um, yeah, what
Okay, so what's next? Okay, so what I'd like to do is we've done a few adult like workshops and parties actually, and I just love the vibe. I love it with the children, but I just love like working with adults as well. So yeah, so we're going to be doing more adult workshops. I'm working on lipstick making. Like, does anyone want to make lipstick?
Yes,
So I'm
please.
working. Oh my God, Sky, I've been working on this for years, and with me being a perfectionist, like everything's got to be amazing. It's sometimes like not very good. So I did a
Saying
lipstick.
that, what I love about you, Bev, is that you're, even though you say that, you still are doing while you're trying to get to that stage, like
Yeah,
while you're trying to perfect it. You're not just over procrastinating then and not doing anything. You're actually doing it while you're trying to improve it. That's
yeah. So
fantastic.
yes, so I'm saying it here, guys. We're going to be doing a lipstick making course. So I'm going to do it with my family first to test it out, and I'm just learning like what's it called, color theory, so that so that you know when we do launch the lipstick making, we can make some really amazing colors, and the lipstick is going to be made out of all like natural ingredients, because a lot of the lipstick, I'm not sure if you guys know, it's made out of some really crazy stuff like
No way.
beetle, yeah, 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 it is. Look into it. So yeah, so I've just been learning how to do lipstick, and I've just got to practice and practice and learning color theory. And it is about learning. So what's going to happen? I want to do a franchise as well. I want to do online workshops too, and in-person workshops. Yeah. So, and then also because I do a lot of parties, and I just want to bring the joy, because not everyone can afford to have a party. So we're going to be doing workshops again. So if you know of like a hall in your area that's really good, then let me know, let Sky know, and that's what we're going to be over summer. We're going to be launching some workshops in person, and it's going to be amazing, just so that you can experience the lovely bubbly experience, whereby it's just high energy. You're going to come into a place, your children, even adult workshops, because that would be really great. Because I just think having a great vibe, like a community atmosphere, where you know, where adults, grown-ups can come in and meet new friends, have music, and that is, thanks, Guy. I'm just sort of like thinking about this now.
It's
That'd be great.
amazing. I mean, I know from having a conversation with you, we were talking last week or the week before. They have something like where near, not far from me, where they have like a local meetup, an art meetup once, a couple of times a month, and I try and pop along to it with the kids. So that's like what you're doing, like with the workshops. I would definitely come. I would definitely bring my children. It would be fun for a girls' night out with me and my friends, like make lipstick, why
Yeah,
not? Or do a fashion show. So
yeah,
I'm loving the Lovely Bubbly experience, and I can't wait to
yeah.
see
Oh,
all the workshops
yeah.
that you got going on offer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. Gonna bring it to more people. So just loving coming into our atmosphere, into a hall, and just feel the love. That's what I'd like to do.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I want to thank you for taking your Saturday to speak to me and speak to everyone here about how you've gone about starting your business, the things that you're doing in your business, how you felt the fear and you just did things, you know, scared, and you just went for it. I love that. It's very encouraging for me, and I'm hoping it's very encouraging for people out there as well. Um, I love the fact that you shared that it's important for your clients, if they can and they have time, to remind them to do Trustpilot reviews or Google reviews, so that other people can see that you're a credible business, because let's face it, we can all put reviews on our website and just,
Yeah.
you know, but that's not as substantial as somebody actually genuinely looking at your review from an actual customer. And I get that as well. So I use in my business childcare.co.uk, and I have my actual parents that put reviews down for me, and then people on the back of those reviews will more come to me than anything else. So I really appreciate all your honesty, all the things that you've learned along the way, all the new stuff that's coming up for you as well. I'm really excited for. Where can people find you? What's your website and what's your social media handle if they'd like to follow you or inquire about a party?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we've got a website which is Luvly Bubbly, and it's spelled LUVLYBUBBLY, lovelybubbly.co.uk, and we're going to be updating our website soon, so it's going to be a lot easier and everything. And then also we're on Instagram. I'm not very good on Instagram, guys, so I need to be more present. It's just I can't make excuses, but what I want to do on Instagram is create more value. So I don't just want to be posting we've done a party, but I want to create value so that you can learn new things and bits and pieces like that. That's why I haven't really posted, because I don't want to just post for posting's sake. I want to, like,
you know what, on that tip, before we go, I'm just going to point out that I've spoken to other business owners and they actually pay other people to do their social media content, because let's face it, we can't all do everything. Like we might just be one person or like a small business, and we can't do everything. So don't feel bad out there if you're not posting on social media, because you know you're actually in the real world doing stuff offline. So yeah, it happens when it happens, doesn't it? And I can't wait to see the content when you do share that. I'll definitely be looking at, because the stuff that you'll be doing and seeing if I can replicate it. I see some people do a lot of creative stuff, and I do follow them for ideas to do things with the kids. So I'd definitely be up for looking at your content and seeing how I can use it. So I'd love to. I'm looking forward to that. But please don't beat yourself up, people out there, if you are not posting as regularly as you think you should. Like, the internet is small, but the world is big. So don't forget that. So yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye to Luvly Bubbly, Luvly Bubbly Bev, and thank you so much for your time, everyone, for listening, and thank you, Bev, for joining me today on this live. And yeah, I hope to see you all soon.
Oh, and Sky, I just want to say, honestly, it's been a pleasure. You are such a beautiful person, by the way, and I really admire you. And I can't wait to go walking with you.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, I've been walking, by the way. I've been walking because I haven't been and I've walked twice, and I'm gonna go for a walk again.
So we're going to be walking soon as well. And yeah, thank you so much. You're a beautiful person as well. Take care. God bless.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.